Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 Manager 2022 and another part of our Aston Martin Road to Glory career mode. Today we are back with the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve Canadian Grand Prix. It's going to be an absolute cracker. You will notice no webcam for the next couple of episodes. We're actually having a brand new floor put in the whole downstairs of the house, so that everything is kind of in my room at the moment. So yeah, it looks like a complete mess. I mean, you can actually see, I'll put it on if you want, but it is a complete mess in the background. So we are gonna go without webcam today, so hopefully that's all right. But yeah, hopefully you guys are good. Once again, thank you for all of the support on the series so far. I do want to address something that was in the comment section. Somebody was asking, how come Alonso's growth potential is 1.43 when mine's 0.43 or whatever? And I think it's the simple reason I started this career mode before the full game release, so I think in a patch since, I think it's potentially done something. Speaking of patches, I do believe there has been a patch today, but not 100% certain about that. We'll certainly find out, I guess. But yeah, I have heard that there has been a patch, but we will see. Anyway, we have got some development points to pop on, so we will duly do that. What are we going to go for? Probably smoothness. Yeah, 87 on that. Piastri doesn't have one, that's fine. Let's have a look at this. So technical chief. Hey, Chung is now 79 rated. Somebody was saying you should go and replace Martin Werner, and I sort of agree. However, if we have a little look, I don't think any of the really good guys are interested. So Enrico Balbo is not interested. Jared Murphy isn't. Neither is Dirk de Beer. This guy is Alessandro Cinelli, or Cinelli, from Alfa Romeo. So let's get some detailed scouting on him. Other than that, I mean, these aren't that much better, if we're honest. We got Aaron Melvin, I suppose, is somebody that could be useful. Hang on, that's not the... no, it is the right one. Hang on, where... And the other one was Peter Boddington. Somebody was saying 94 rated, does a really good job. I would love to hear Pete Boddington's name as well. Giampiero Lambiasi, of course, as well. But Ben Mitchell, one of the best in there. Riccardo Adami is pretty good, and Riccardo Mosconi, not bad. But I mean, Pete Boddington isn't going to be interested anyway. But yeah, I mean, all of the race engineers down to Jorn Becker, not interested. So yeah, it's going to be tough to get that sorted out, really. But anyway, let's continue on. Congratulations. Of course, last time out we had a very, very interesting race in Baku. We did eventually win, but it was by the skin of our teeth in the end. And if you have a look at that, we were, just over a second ahead of Carlos Sainz in the end from Fernando Alonso. Pierre Gasly, not quite the same driver last time out. Quite a few people in the comments having a go about Gasly. What? Stop making him hold back. I don't think I am. He was on a different strategy. We definitely pushed at certain parts of the race, and his tyres just fell off the cliff sooner. I'm sorry. I would love for Fernando Alonso to be or Pierre Gasly to be the one leading the championship, but at the end of the day, we're 1 and 2. we're going to let our drivers race. I've said that before. I've shown that in Spain. I don't have any preference particularly between them. I just want to win the championship, and I think we've got a good chance. Fernando's more consistent, but Pierre's probably got more pace. It's a very, very good matchup. But anyway, we do have a few things happening today. The manufacturing of the suspension, but other things will be happening in the next episode, pretty much. So we'll continue on. Race preview, Canadian Grand Prix. Okay, right. So performance targets. Let's guarantee both cars getting into the top 10. I'm a little bit less confident this weekend that we're actually gonna. I don't think we're going to win it. Put it that way. I think we were lucky to win Baku. I think the safety car played into our hands a little bit with that. Everything else looks fine. Okay, I think we're ready and raring to go. So let's get into the race weekend. Here we go.
Formula One is back in Montreal. Let's hope it's not going to be Groundhog Day. The local rodents have disrupted more than one race day here in the past. The Canadian Grand Prix is ready to kick off, and the only drama on the tracks we want to see is the best drivers in the world battling it out for a place on that podium. Gilles Villeneuve is a quick, free-flowing circuit in parts, with a stop-start aspect thrown in for good measure around the chicanes and hairpin bends. Medium-speed downforce will play a large part in avoiding the wall of champions and ensuring success at this iconic track. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder what else is in store for the teams. Well, there's only one way to find out. Okay then, let's get to it.
Okay, right. Looks like it's going to be raining for the race on Sunday. That is going to be, again, very interesting. We seem to be getting a lot of wet weather races this season, but looking forward to it nonetheless. Hopefully we can do something good with the strategy. I'll go ahead and do practice, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Well, there we go then. The end of free practice 3, and Pierre Gasly leading the way. Fernando Alonso down in P8 there. Usually we find Alonso much quicker in practice, but you can see setup confidence not 100% for both guys. It's a bit of a pity, really. If we have a little look, you can see we can probably get that cornering up a little bit. Braking stability just went the wrong way with the last tweaks, unfortunately, with that one. Is that I think that is the best one that we've had. If you look at Alonso's, pretty much optimal, which is really fantastic to see. 93%. I mean, how on earth that isn't more than that at that point? But yeah, it doesn't really matter. Let's get ourselves into qualifying. We'll simulate session 1 and 2 as we always do. So here we go. And well, Pierre Gasly 3, Fernando Alonso in P4. Moving on to qualifying session 2. Let's see how they get on there. Should be easily through. And there you go, 5th and 6th. And Alonso actually ahead of Pierre Gasly this time, and we were slightly slower than in qualifying 1. Interestingly, Lewis Hamilton out in Q2. That's a big shock. Both McLaren's out, but Daniel Ricciardo outperforming Lando Norris, which has been pretty much the norm this season, actually. Both Alpines back through, and Valtteri Bottas certainly in good form. So let's get ourselves into Q3 and see how we get on. Okay, so manage Q3. And let's get into the action. Here we go. We have got some used tyres. I think we want to probably use the used tyres first.
Radio check.
Radio check, okay. Radio check, okay.
Okay, it's green now.
Okay, let's get Pierre Gasly out there. Let's see how we get some. There goes Pierre. And Fernando Alonso is going to follow him. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, he's warming his tyres up, I think. Right, let's push that on. So let's hop on board with Mr. Pierre Gasly and see how he gets on. A few people have been saying tyres are getting a bit hot sometimes on flying laps. Maybe you should try and take manual control. And that's perhaps a good point, but I think it would be almost impossible to keep both of them in check. Green in that.
Let these tyres cool a bit.
Copy.
First sector.
Get the tyres down now. Copy.
So yeah, Alonso struggling with tyre temps as well. We got one of the Red Bulls in front. I'm assuming it's Max Verstappen. 21.3 for Alonso. 21.3 for Pierre. 22.0 through the middle sector. Alonso coming through now. 21.9. So Alonso slightly quicker than Pierre here. And it's going to be Pierre Gasly that comes up to the line first. Verstappen goes quickest with a 1:10.9. Here comes Pierre Gasly up to the line. It's going to be in the 11s. It's a 1:11.3. Here comes Fernando Alonso past the wall of champions. Is he going to be able to improve on that from Pierre Gasly? Yes, he is. A 1:11.2 and goes a 1/10 of a second quicker than his teammates. So let's let them get back into the pits. Ocon goes third currently. Let's get ourselves some brand new soft tyres on the car. We are going to be the last men over the line. And that is for sure. As Leclerc goes on to pole, 1:10.8. And Sainz pops into third. Perez fourth. We've got Vettel seventh. George Russell down in eighth. And Gasly 9th currently, and Bottas in P10. It's very, very close. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think. Well, that'll be 8, won't it? And we'll send out Gasly and Alonso. Hopefully they're not too close to each other. No, I think that's probably about right, or at least it was. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure who's in a better position here. Okay, right then. Pierre Gasly starts his hot lap, his final run at pole position. I honestly don't think we've got the one lap pace around here to do that. But we'll keep an eye on the other guys. It looks like Charles Leclerc's purple in sector 1. We've got Perez. He's going to be coming up to the line soon. Leclerc going very, very quick so far. Pierre Gasly yellow in the first sector. Not brilliant. Both of them slower.
Rears are hot. Okay, copy.
In the middle sector. So Verstappen crosses the line. He can't go quicker. Perez can't. Verstappen does. Leclerc does. What about Sainz? Bottas goes 5th. Sainz goes over the line, he goes P2, so Ferrari 1-2, Vettel over the line, he goes 7th, Ocon over the line, he goes 6th, above Alonso, here comes Russell. Russell over the line, where's he going to finish? Russell stays 9th. Here comes Pierre Gasly over the line. Where's he going to finish? He gets over the line. No improvement. What about Alonso? Again, no improvement. So not a great final lap from our guys. And it's 7th and 10th for Aston Martin. And that is a big disappointment. It really, really is. And after Pierre Gasly was so fast in Q1, you know, we just weren't able to put the icing on the cake there. 7th and 10th, that's a bit of a poor showing from 1 and 2 in the championship.
Race day has arrived and the time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel.
Aston Martin performed well during the qualifying session and they're rewarded with a good grid position for the race. This weekend, Red Bull displayed real promise during qualifying, but will they fulfill that potential by the time they reach the checkered flag? And the weather is sunny here today, apart from a few clouds. Let's hope they remain scattered on the horizon.
And each team will be hoping that fortune is on their side. So bon chance to them and their drivers for this Canadian Grand Prix.
Okay then, here we are ready for the race. Remember, it is rainy conditions. I have no idea when the rain is coming. It looks like about halfway through. It's going to be just a flurry of rain that will splatter the track for, 15 laps or so, and then we'll be back to dry towards the end of the race. So that is really, really interesting. I think we probably want to start on mediums in that case. I don't think softs will quite last long enough. I think we want to perhaps attack on the mediums. That gives us a pit window to go onto wets, I presume, at that stage. And then if we go track, when's it expected? 41, so up to lap 41 or 42, and then medium or hards for the final stint. I think that's probably what we want to do. So let's update that strategy, and that's what Pierre Gasly is going to do, and we'll do something very similar with Fernando Alonso. He's going to attack at the start of the race. He'll then go on to the wet tyres, and then at lap 41 he will go on to the hard tyres for the rest of the race. Perfect. Okay, right, let's get ourselves into the race. We are going to pop a little bit of extra fuel in there. They're of course going to be attacking right from the start of the race. And let's see what we can do. Our race pace has generally been much better than our qualifying pace. Let's see if we can keep that up.
I hope I'm not tempting fate here, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. Looking at Fernando Alonso here. Not as close to the front as they might have wished for, but we know the race order can change a lot during those first few corners. Next for the team, it's Pierre Gasly. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. The teams are ready to go.
Okay.
The drivers are ready and raring to go. It's the Canadian Grand Prix. It's lights out.
Lights out. Away we go then. Let's keep an eye on the lead battle for Charles Leclerc as he heads into turn 1, and he does survive as Carlos Sainz is in P2, Verstappen P3, Perez 4th, Bottas in 5th, Ocon 6th, and Fernando Alonso currently in 7th. He's having a little look at his old teammate Ocon for P8. Is he going to be able to make a move here? Perhaps
Looks
down
like
the inside.
Aston Martin have just gained
He
a
is
race
having a little
position.
look. And he's through. He's through on Esteban Ocon. Very good move from Fernando there. And here goes Pierre Gasly. Is he going to have a little look at George Russell? Down the inside, potentially. No, he stays where he is for
Aston
now.
Martin with a great play there.
As
They've
Alonso
moved up
using a
place.
little bit of overtake, he's going to have the inside line on Valtteri Bottas here. This is an excellent start for the championship leader. He's going to be up to P5 by the end of this first lap at the very least. Very, very good. Pierre Gasly, meanwhile, still stuck behind George Russell. Alonso now having a little look at Sergio Perez. This is a great run. Soft tyre runners up ahead. Alonso past the wall of champions and pushing on to lap 2 of this Grand Prix. Is he going to be able to have a look? Not this time. Let's have a little look at tyres. So, Charles Leclerc on mediums, Sainz, Verstappen and Perez all on softs. We then have Bottas, Ocon on mediums and Vettel on softs. Russell, Gasly, Ricciardo on mediums. Hamilton, Norris, Zhou on softs. Then Albon, Magnussen, Stroll and Tsunoda on mediums. With Hulkenberg and Mick Schumacher, ooh, that was close, on soft tyres. I thought Alonso was going to get through there, but didn't manage it.
This is good, come on.
And here comes Pierre Gasly then. He's going to be having a look down the inside of George Russell, and Gasly's through. And we needed that. Very, very good. And now Fernando Alonso is struggling to keep up with Sergio Perez as it stands, which you sort of expect, because I don't think we've got the quickest car at this circuit. So Alonso
DRS is enabled.
doing
DRS
a good
is
job.
enabled.
Doing well balanced on the
Safe
fuel.
fuel, safe fuel. Copy.
With Alonso. I'm going to do the same with Pierre.
All okay on fuel, so you can do what you want for speed.
Copy.
Going to hopefully follow Perez through now that we've got DRS. We'll pull away from Valtteri Bottas behind. Obviously struggling a little bit here to keep up. There goes Alonso with the DRS. Closes in a little bit on Perez now. Is Perez going to be within a second of Verstappen? Perhaps not. Is Alonso going to be able to have a go? I don't think so, because Verstappen having a little look at Charles Leclerc. And Carlos Sainz, meanwhile, on the soft tyres, pulling away at the front. Again, showing his wonderful race pace. Here goes Fernando Alonso with DRS once again. Is he going to be able to have a good look at Perez here? I don't think so. Now, continuing on, but we're pulling away beautifully from Valtteri Bottas. New fastest lap for Fernando Alonso as Gasly having a little look here. We've picked up at the perfect moment. He goes down the inside of Sebastian Vettel. That turns into the outside line, which means Vettel stays in front. But Gasly following him nicely here. He needs to get a bit better with his overtakes. I thought he might have an ambitious look down the inside there. Didn't go for it. DRS now. No look there. Alonso still following the top four. Gasly stuck behind these guys for now. Up on board with him again. Is he going to be able to use DRS to get himself past these guys? It's not looking likely here. As Alonso now drops nearly a second behind the guys in front. Closes right in on the exit of the corner. Now then, gonna go overtake and push with Gasly. We're gonna try a lap of absolutely pushing like a maniac. Try and get past Bottas and Ocon. That's the plan here. Here we go. Gasly now with a good exit. With overtake. No. Meanwhile, Bottas back through on Ocon. And here goes Gasly again.
Doing a good job. Keep pushing.
Again, not having a look down the inside. He's struggling here, is Gasly. So I think we're going to zoom it forward a little bit. As he's in a DRS train that's unlikely to be broken anytime soon. Now let's just check that our weather forecast is still saying the same. Lap 24. Our strategy just... we are going to be pitting around about then. Let's just hop on board with Fernando and see if we can get anywhere with Perez. I don't actually think there's much point. We're going to drop that down to aggressive.
Yeah, take it easy. Okay, copy.
Yeah, Gasly just pure frustration at the moment. No, nothing there, and we come round, and now scrapes right up against the wall, does Vettel. As Ocon now having a little look at Bottas. Vettel's going to have a look at Bottas as well. Bottas could lose 2 positions. Can Gasly go through here? Is he going to have his own? Oh, I thought he was going to have a little look there at Vettel. But no, doesn't take the chance. It's just so important that we get past these guys because they are holding Gasly up so badly. But we just cannot get past them at the moment. This is the definition of a DRS train. And when you're 4th in the queue, it is just almost impossible to make those moves stick. That's Fernando Alonso managing to keep nicely close to them. There goes Bottas defensive again on Ocon. Is Ocon going to be able to make the move, or is Vettel going to be able to make the move on both of them? Not quite. Now, as we go into lap 9 of this Grand Prix, Gasly just not managing it at the moment. Charles Leclerc leading the way. He's ahead of Carlos Sainz in 2nd. We've got Sergio Perez in 3rd with Max Verstappen in 4th. Fernando Alonso currently in 5th. Just minding his own business as it stands. That's exactly what we want to see. So, let's zoom it on. Don't think Gasly's going to be able to make a move on these guys. Yeah, not really under any threat from the people behind him. So let's just zoom it on a few laps. Alonso staying with these guys, needs to stay within that DRS. Gasly could really do with getting past them, but it's just not happening. We're going to actually harvest with Gasly, try and get a full tank of energy going for him. That's some yellow flags. I think that was perhaps Kevin Magnussen there. Okay.
Got loads of energy.
Okay.
Can we use overtake and push? And get past. Might be able to here. He pulls to the inside. This could be a good chance.
You can stop lifting coast.
Gasly goes down the inside. It's going to be close up against the wall. Oh, and there's an Alpine in the way. Oh, he was so close to making it stick there. And that was unlucky. I thought he was going to do it there. Right, here we go. We try again. Very good exit. DRS is going to become active now, and here we go. Round the outside of the Alpine. Oh, but he's squeezed up against the wall so much that doesn't end up going for it. This is just unbelievable.
We have low batteries.
Yeah, copy.
Let's get harvesting again then. We're not that far off the wet weather conditions. Here we go again with Pierre Gasly and the overtake button. Go on, go. Oh, I thought he was going to go for it there, but of course not. Oh, this time, look at this. Hey, 2 positions for Pierre Gasly, and now we should be able to get past Bottas fairly easily. And now, hopefully, Gasly can go about his race a little bit here. And start catching back up to Fernando Alonso. Finally, I think we're going to be able to do it. That was a great move from Pierre. He was just waiting for that opportunity. There's a few people in the pit lane, I think soft tyre runners. Here we go again with Pierre Gasly, and this time a nicely made move on Valtteri Bottas.
Use energy if you need it, use energy.
And now he has to push on, try and use his pace.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race
Get
position.
nicely ahead of Valtteri Bottas.
Need to charge it.
Oh, here comes Bottas back at him. But that's fastest lap for Pierre Gasly. It's amazing what you can do. When you're in clear air, he's unleashing the pace of that Aston Martin car now.
We are expecting rain pretty soon.
We are expecting that rain within the next couple of laps. He's more than a second ahead of Bottas now. Is he going to be able? I was going to say, is he going to be able to stay more than a second ahead? I don't think so. Bottas may well have a chance back at him here. Oh, Verstappen's come in. That's a strange decision. We're expecting rain and they've come in and they're putting on the hard tyres. Can Gasly hold station? No, and Gasly's actually been passed by 2 cars, and now he's back into the original situation he was in. Which is very, very frustrating. So I'll keep on neutral. Try and defend from George Russell here. That's exactly what we do. So pit window entered. The rain is coming very, very soon. And there it is, the rain started. So, the decision is wet tyres or not. I think perhaps we do. We're going to come in, wet tyres on with Fernando Alonso.
Box. Okay, box.
And Fernando Alonso is going to go into pole position for the Grand Prix. Yeah, same for Pierre. Or it's whether we split the strategy. We go intermediates with Pierre, just in case. So Alonso's going to be coming in this lap. Oh, Leclerc stays out.
Okay, pit lane. Copy that.
So here comes Fernando Alonso into the pits.
Yeah, in the box.
Copy. He's pitted.
Wet tyres on for Fernando. What have others gone for? I don't know. Intermediates. So behind Ocon. Now time to attack. And Alonso's either going to be... Oh, I thought Gasly was going to go into the back of Ocon there.
You're in a good place. Do everything you can, mate.
Understood.
So, we're catching up to Charles Leclerc. Now, only Sainz has gone wet, along with Alonso. Don't think it's getting too wet, but there you go. Alonso's pretty much caught up. A pit stop on Charles Leclerc.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
This is going to be the moment Alonso takes the lead of this Canadian Grand Prix.
Nicely done.
And Pierre Gasly may well be
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
in the best position here. Now, let's see what we can do. Is anybody else going to be on wet tyres? Sainz is on wet tyres. What about Leclerc? Leclerc's on wets. What about Russell? Russell's the next one that I want to see. He's on intermediates. Perez on intermediates. And Vettel, he's on intermediates as well. So there's 3 drivers in the field that have gone on to wet tyres. So we are hoping that this won't make much difference. I mean, Alonso definitely going quicker than Ocon. And it is getting wetter out there. And Fernando Alonso doing a great job. Still getting wetter. And Pierre Gasly P3. I mean, this is pure strategy that we've managed this. Starting on those mediums, meaning we could go a little bit longer into the race before having to make a pit stop. Now, Daniel Ricciardo, 2.6 behind Gasly. He's in 4th. Then we got Leclerc in 5th. Bottas 6th. Verstappen just behind him in 7th. Then Sainz in P8. Russell 9th. And Yuki Tsunoda in the Williams in P10. And now it is absolutely wet conditions. Wet conditions. Now, I don't know whether that means people have to come into the pits and put on the wet tyres. I'm not sure if that's what that means. But some people have come in. Bottas and Verstappen, Tsunoda and Hamilton, they're in for the wets. Oh wow, this is huge. I mean, this is the opposite, complete opposite to what happened last year. Now, is Pierre Gasly doing all right out there? I think we keep him out there. I don't think he's going to be any harm to anyone. Is Leclerc catching him up? 2.8. I don't think massively. Oh, 2.3. Perhaps he is, but how long is this rain going to last for? I'm not sure very long. I'm not sure long enough to sacrifice track position. So Gasly's going to stay out there. Alonso, by the way, absolutely running away with this now. Yeah, Gasly's going to continue on.
Okay, so just lift and coast.
Copy.
Now Leclerc is going to pass Pierre. Well, again, what this is going to do is bring Alonso a better gap to Charles. It's going to get slightly drier. Very, very soon. Once it dips back under 4, that's when the intermediate tyres will start working again. So it's all about whether Pierre Gasly can survive until the wet weather. Now, Hülkenberg, he's still out there. Is he going to come into the pits? I don't think so. It's Fernando Alonso.
Rain risk is receding.
Okay.
There we go, dry weather predicted. So Gasly's just got to stay out there now. It's still in P2, still doing a sterling job. Fernando Alonso absolutely smashing it. There goes Charles Leclerc, he's passed him. Fairly convinced that would have happened anyway. So
Ferrari advance the
we're going
race
to push on.
position.
I'm going to hope that time comes where the track begins to dry up even more.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
It's going to drop below 4, which means Gasly's tyres are going to switch back on. So now Gasly, I think, should be able to stay in front of Ocon. And there you go, starting to pull out a gap to him. Perfect. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso is more than a pit stop ahead of Charles Leclerc.
Rain, all clear.
Yeah.
So, gonna keep pushing on. We think that rain is it now. I don't think there's going to be any more rain for the rest of the Grand Prix.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
Meanwhile, Esteban Ocon is locked up. That means Gasly's now much further ahead. And meanwhile, Pierre Gasly will potentially be having a look at Carlos Sainz here, as we're now getting towards intermediate tyres window. Now, is Gasly going to be able to make a move on Carlos Sainz here? It's looking pretty likely, isn't it? But until DRS is enabled, we're not going to get that extra speed boost. Oh, look, Gasly locks up.
The brakes are really poor.
Let's see what happened there. Now look at this, it's Pierre Gasly. Just a bit too heavy on the brakes, and they've locked up.
And I hope
The team are really
hope they
disappointed
didn't
with that. Let's hope it doesn't
bash
set
his
them back too
front
badly.
wing. No, he didn't. He's okay. Could just go a little hot. Let's just try and get everything back into normal operating windows. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso just doing a terrific job up top. We're going to drop him back to standard.
Yeah, take it easy.
There's absolutely no need for him to be pushing. So we'll just stick with standard. It looks like it's going to be a very, very comfortable victory for Fernando Alonso as long as there isn't a safety car or anything like that, which would be an unbelievable performance because I don't think we've had the pace this weekend to be competing for victories, but that is what Fernando Alonso's doing. He is maximising his performances this season. Bar one Grand Prix where he finished 11th. I can't remember what race that was now. Might have been Miami or something. Yeah, perhaps it was. But everywhere else, Fernando has just been at his absolute best. And he is maximising the points this season. Well, that rainfall on the track, that's going to dip below 1 millimeter very, very soon, which then brings about the possibility of slick tyres. That's exactly what we'll be thinking about. Don't think there's any point in doing it straight away, but we can do it pretty quickly. I think perhaps Pierre Gasly is going to come in. He's going to go onto the hard tyres. Fernando has just lapped a big group of drivers there. And Fernando's going to come in this lap.
Box.
Yeah, box.
So there we go, Sainz is coming in. Gasly's going to do the same. So Gasly going on to the hard tyres. And he is away in 2.7. Very, very good. And that's Daniel Ricciardo still on the wet tyres. Very good. Very good.
Copy. Pit entry.
So let's hop on board with race leader Fernando Alonso. Well, you can see some soft tyres out there, which I'm baffled by. Soft tyres aren't going to last till the end of the race. That is a baffling decision from Ferrari and pretty much everybody else. So, Fernando Alonso is going to be a very good amount of time ahead of Charles Leclerc. Is Gasly going to come out? Is he going to come out ahead of Leclerc? It's going to be pretty close. Oh, side by side, Leclerc and Sainz. Didn't happen there. And then
Use everything from the tyres, use everything.
definitely push as hard as he wants.
Okay.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Yeah, okay.
Fernando, I think just keep it steady, really. I don't think there's any need for Fernando to stress, so let's see if we can get Pierre Gasly up into the top 2. We think we're going to have one less pit stop than those guys in front. They're on the soft tyres. But no guarantees. But surely they can't take them to the end. So Fernando Alonso doing a sterling job. 20.5 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Now Leclerc is closing in on him, but not really got any chance, you wouldn't have thought. And Alonso, oh, minor gearbox wear. It's not what we want to hear. ERS also not looking great. Okay, keep an eye on that. So 19 seconds at the end of that lap. Let's just keep an eye on that. I think Leclerc is making up around about a second a lap here. Yeah, Leclerc definitely making up a second a lap to Fernando Alonso. So if Leclerc was to be going to the end of the race on these tyres, he will catch and probably pass Fernando by the end of the race. It is all going to be whether he does stop again. So this is again pretty good. 16 seconds now, the gap. Let's have a look at tyre weight. Surely they can't take them another 23 laps. It's going to be almost impossible. And remember, Fernando. Oh, here we go. Here we go with Gasly.
Okay.
Where did this come from?
Lift and coast will help.
Gasly now going to be through on Carlos Sainz. That is brilliant. Let's deploy
So use energy.
and see if we can get more than a second ahead of him. But Gasly onto the podium despite starting in P10.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
And this is absolutely by virtue of one less pit stop for Gasly and Alonso. Leclerc and Sainz, the only other ones that have absolutely nailed the strategy today. Verstappen 15 seconds behind Carlos Sainz as it stands. Oh, come on. This has been a very good lap from Pierre Gasly. I thought that might be the fastest lap. Turns out it wasn't. But look how close he is to Charles Leclerc now. We should get past fairly easily here. And there you go. Absolutely brilliant from Pierre Gasly. He is up to P2. And unbelievably, we are running 1 and 2 in this race. And we do not have to make another pit stop.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
So there goes Charles Leclerc. He's going to try and get back at Pierre here, but I don't think he'll have much hope. Oh, he is having a look, and he is through. Oh, there you go. Leclerc back through. Shame. I was going to pop in on Nico Hülkenberg. Right at the back of the field.
Ferrari.
Looks like he's going to be lapped by K-Mag and his teammate. Wow. Not a good race for him. Lando Norris down in P11. Lewis Hamilton failed to get through to Q3, of course. George Russell doing a decent job. Daniel Ricciardo once again in a good Grand Prix here. And there goes Gasly again past Charles Leclerc. With all this traffic. Ooh! Wow! I thought Ocon, or was that Vettel? It's Vettel. I thought Vettel was gonna cause us some issues there. And he is doing really, but Vettel is quicker than Alonso.
Don't tell me we can't do anything.
And Ferrari just gained a place.
I think we just have to be patient here. They are closing in on Fernando, but there's a lot of traffic in between them. Perhaps Alonso needs to be attacking a little bit more than he is. As Gasly makes it back past Leclerc once again.
We just need to charge up.
Copy.
We're going to attack a bit with Fernando now.
And push.
Copy.
Try and gain a little bit of a gap on the other guys. Alonso through on Hülkenberg. He's got the shackles off. "16 laps to go. Let's have a little look at tyre wear. I mean, perhaps they'll make it to the end. I'd be shocked if they did, though.
We've got loads of energy.
Yeah.
So I'm going neutral for now. We just be patient and we wait for the final few laps here with Gasly. Drop that down to aggressive for Fernando.
Aston Martin took a chance and it's
Oh,
paid off.
what's happened there? Let's have a look at this.
Look at the replay. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston
So
Martin.
he went round both of them into turn one. What a move that is.
And it takes a lot of skill to pull off a move like that.
It's fantastic from Pierre Gasly.
Looks like there's been a lock-up.
But he's not going to make the move back through. That's the issue. Now Gasly's through, so I think we need to deploy, push, go.
So use energy if you need it.
Okay.
Looks like
Catch up
Aston
to that
Martin have just gained a race position.
AlphaTauri and get into the DRS zone. So come on, Gasly, let's pull away in this first sector. It's through. It's probably the perfect place to get through on traffic. This is the problem, Leclerc is still within DRS range. Now, hopefully that should be that. He can get more than a second in front. That's how he's going to stay in front of Charles Leclerc now. No DRS this time. So, he is absolutely pedal to the metal now. So Leclerc does have DRS. How has he managed that? Well, it is what it is. No, he's now more than a second in front. So Gasly able to pull away from those two. Fernando Alonso out front, 5.5 ahead now, so, you know, definitely being closed in here with 7 laps to go. Yeah, surely those soft tyres are going to explode pretty much towards the end of this Grand Prix. Let's keep an eye on things. It looks like Gasly is going to close in on Fernando in these next few laps. Fernando's going to have so much better tyres though. Let's push it on. Final 3 laps of this Grand Prix. And then Gasly's going to have enough to quite close the gap. We'll give him his full support. He can have a go if he wants.
This will be the last.
But here we go. Final lap of the race for Fernando Alonso. And it has been a very, very strong performance from him today. Started the race off very well. Stayed with the lead 4 on those medium tyres. And that's what's won him it today. It's unbelievable in many ways that Pierre Gasly has been able to get within 3 seconds of him, because early in the race Alonso was miles ahead. You know, there were points of this race where Alonso had a 30-second lead over everybody, but he's just took this final stint slow and steady, and it's going to be slow and steady wins the race for Fernando Alonso. It's going to be his 4th Grand Prix victory of the season, and he really has done a terrific job. He's going to extend his lead in the driver's standings over his teammate Pierre Gasly. Here he comes. Fernando Alonso wins here in Canada. Excellent performance from him, and that is absolutely brilliant. It's going to be Pierre Gasly over the line in second. 3.7 behind.
Alonso has done it. Fernando Alonso
And that
is today's Grand Prix winner.
Is what we want to see. Absolutely brilliant from them two. Charles Leclerc finishes third, and then Carlos Sainz is going to come over the line in fourth. Max Verstappen
Thanks, guys.
is coming up towards the world of champions.
Pick up and away in. Well done.
He's going to finish P5.
Copy that. Just take all the pickup.
And Red Bull definitely struggling now to compete. Esteban Ocon and Daniel Ricciardo are going to have a battle up to the line. Here he comes, the Frenchman. But is Daniel Ricciardo going to drag him up to the line? It's going to be very, very tight, and Ricciardo gets him. Ricciardo finishes 6th. Ocon 7th with Bottas at 8th. What a battle that was. George Russell coming over the line. He finishes 9th. Mercedes will be very disappointed with their weekend. And Sergio Perez, he's the last man on the lead lap. He comes round and he finishes in P10. And there it is. There it is. And what a performance from Fernando Alonso.
What a flawless weekend here from Fernando Alonso. His team must be proud. This podium is a remarkable achievement for the whole team.
Absolutely brilliant to see both drivers up there again. Another 1-2 this season.
And the talented veteran rounds off another great drive, adding to his impressive F1 podium tally. Today's competitors gave it their all, but it's going to be those three taking home the big points. Aston Martin having an extremely good day at the track.
You can see that the team runs like a well-oiled machine. Everything was precise and on point this weekend.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
For the next round, we're heading back to the heart of the UK. Get ready for a race to remember in Silverstone, the cradle of Formula One.
Well, there you go. And, you know, the key to victory today, let's be honest, it was the two-stop strategy. The two-stop strategy won us it. You know, we predicted the wet weather. We came up with a strategy that worked for it, and our weather forecast was right. And that is what did it for us. And, you know, I think Ferrari going on to the soft tyres. Bad mistake, really. 3 stops for the likes of Sainz downwards. I mean, Sainz did very well to finish within 20 seconds of the lead on 3 stops. That shows overall Ferrari had the better race pace today. And had they had a clean race, it would have been Carlos Sainz that won it. And, well, that's just the way it goes. But Fernando Alonso wins ahead of Pierre Gasly in P2. He extends his lead now to 22 points in the driver's standings. Gasly there in P2, all the way down to Carlos Sainz in P6, still in the championship picture, but it's going to be a lot harder today. That was his 4th win of the season, going along with Gasly's 2. That makes it 6 out of 7 for us. 6 out of 8 this season for us, which is awesome. 7 podiums, 7 fastest laps. Red Bull still in second, but not doing a great job, if I'm honest with you. Their performance just hasn't been there recently. And they're 50 points behind in the constructors. Let's see. Gasly, no, nothing for Gasly. Nothing for Alonso, and nothing for Piastri. 6.5 million made from that Grand Prix. And there we have it. It's been an unbelievable time. We've got a new design in the rear wing department. That's going to help our car a little bit. But our car is definitely not the best. You know, if you look at the analysis, other than low speed, you know, everything else is top 10 at best. But we're just maximising our chances this season, and Fernando Alonso in particular is having a terrific season. He is absolutely bossing it, and that is why he is where he is. He's leading the championship. He's got an excellent chance of winning his 3rd world title, which is unbelievable, by the way. And hopefully he manages to do that come the end of the season. But yeah, I mean, we're guaranteed to be leading the Constructors' Championship no matter what happens in Silverstone. I'm imagining after the summer break that's where things will catch up to us, because we are not winning the development race at the moment. We're waiting for the next ATR period so we can put some extra people on. It does actually start at the start of the next episode. But it's going to be tough. You know, we've got 2 more upgrades coming in around about Hungary time. We got another rear wing. Oh, hang on. We've got our... Where is it? Design. There you go. We've got our new underfloor coming in time for Hungary. What else have we got? Have we got any more designs? I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. So no more designs. So we got our underfloor. That's going to be the big one. And then I think, honestly, after the summer break again, I think we do turn our attention to research, because by then we could be in a position where we can definitely fight for the championship. But, you know, it's what we prioritize. And maybe you guys in the comment section down below, what would you do in this situation? Would you go all in trying to win both championships this year? We've given ourselves a chance with some really, you know, quite fortunate results in places, particularly the first race of the year, you know, particularly other races along the line. I think that Canada, we definitely didn't have the pace, but we come out with maximum points. What would you do? Would you throw all of your eggs into this season's basket, or would you have an eye on next year and really try and hit the ground running? Because I'm torn. If we throw it all in this year, I think we're really going to pay the price next year, and that could put our job in jeopardy with the way this game works. But yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting dilemma. I guess a very good problem to have, you could say. But if you have enjoyed that, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 Manager content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.